Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Brian,
I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ty.
and welcome to the Filler Trash Podcast, where a group of nerds try to have semi-coherent conversations about anime and manga.
Nerds, maybe. Degenerates, for fucking sure. We usually discuss current stuff from a list of titles, so do be mindful of spoilers.
We try to remember to call them out when they come up, but you can find a list of what is in the episode in the description down below.
And with that, let's jump into it.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Filler Trash Podcast. We got a bit of a shorter episode this time. We didn't have a ton to talk about, lots of things on hiatus, but the stuff we do have to talk about is fucking hype. All right, so I think we're starting off with Kaiju number 8. I mean, I was really hyped for this chapter. I think Brian was hyped for this chapter. Jordan, I don't know.
I don't care, dude.
Jordan didn't care.
I mean, all I'm happy is that we didn't spend another fucking chapter of her just talking and nothing
that
actually
was
happening.
They were swinging, yeah.
The thing for me is that she's not getting saved.
Yeah, she's getting
There
bodied.
was a hard minute right there where I was like, God damn it, if they bring in as much as I love our boy, if they bring him in to save her, it's going to be disappointing. But she's just doing it on her own.
So, I want to talk about, because it's right up here on it right now. Like, obviously, like, this 90% of this chapter is her just getting her ass kicked.
I mean, yeah.
Everyone's like,
Which is
fuck.
what should happen.
Yeah, everyone's like, fuck, she's getting her ass kicked. And she's
Yep.
like, don't worry, I'm getting my ass kicked right now, but I'm going to come back. What I'm very much interested in is the fact that there's fucking ghosts that exist.
Yeah.
Confirmed ghosts.
So
I think the samurai ghost.
I was just gonna say that's exactly what I was I
Yeah.
was going with.
Yeah.
That is that motherfucking samurai guy. Kafka saw him for a reason.
Yeah, he's a ghost in Kafka's shit.
I didn't,
Yes.
I didn't think about that, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a ghost in Kafka's shit.
Whatever fucking kaiju bug
Ghost
monster
shit.
went down Kafka's throat.
It's existed before.
Hell yeah.
I think it has.
But yeah, I feel like we knew that because like the way his eyes look.
Yeah,
But
it
now
looked
that
just like
this whole
him.
thing-
Yeah, his eyes looked a lot like him.
Yeah.
And then this just sort of confirms in universe that like it's very likely he's
I hope
It's
his
probably some
talks
kind of,
to
like,
his. I hope
ancient
I do
his
too.
becomes- Yeah, I hope his becomes sentient.
because his will be different. His
fucking
is
samurai.
also his is full conscious monster inside of him.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
these are, other than the newest suit, all of these don't have consciousness anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. The thing is though about his, is, like, it came to him when it wasn't. He was just like kind of exhausted.
Well, no, the kaijus have
Training.
consciousness because in this chapter she talks about, or maybe it's either her or someone else talks about like the kaiju being upset. Like we actually get, I'm pretty sure this because we get a look at what the kaiju that got made into this armor looked like. It's like
Is that what that was?
Yeah. Go back a couple pages.
Because I wondered, it was just like a random.
This
that
giant
thing.
bug monster. She's like, she's like, that look on his face is saying I could have done a better job with mommy instead. Like it's clearly remembering that her mom wore it before she did.
Because I don't think I ever realized, because the first time with the newest suit like actively talks to him.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the other weapons had an active consciousness in
That's
them.
what it seems like.
It
At least
seems
this
like
one does. This one definitely, and it seems like the
It's
one
very judgy.
that what's his face has. The Deuterogonus, whose name I cannot fucking think
The
of.
Deuterogonus.
He's got the ice kaiju.
King
Reno?
Mavonster,
Yeah, Reno, thank you.
Oh,
Reno.
you mean the protagonist?
Yeah. Reno has his seemed like it has a consciousnness too. Like it wasn't explicitly
Vague.
stated,
No,
but
it
it seems
for
like
sure does because it was taking over it.
yeah,
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
well,
it
yeah,
seems
they like take over. I just did like there's active thought and then there's bestial instinct. Like there's two, like those are two separate things. This one seems like it has active thought.
I also just really love this thing's design. It's
It
like
is
a fucking
cool.
like giant locust monster. It's
Yeah.
fucking. It's pretty
Looks
radical
like a
looking.
spine
Yeah.
segmented. Yeah.
It's
Are those
spooky.
wings above it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's got like
Yes.
it's got locust wings kind of thing.
Yeah, he's like a giant gross
It's
locust.
wild.
He's
No,
just-
because you can see in the
shit's just-
background it's its giant like spinal wave back.
yeah,
like,
it's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fucking giant tail. Like it's just one long like serpentine
thing, yeah.
it's gross but cool. It's like a giant bug monster. I dig
What was,
it.
what
It
was
is really
I
cool.
wonder if we'll get into the power of what that thing did because I don't really.
I'm guessing some. I'm guessing it has some kind of wind-based abilities from judging from its looks.
That's what I would guess.
That's my theory
Focus
on it.
fucking
But
with
I mean, yeah, this chapter was just. I mean, it was fun. Like, I'm more interested to see. Like, I'm ready for this fight to be over and for us to move forward.
I agree with you. I think for me, I
I
think
guess
the
probably
thing
my
that
first frustrations too.
yeah. I think
Something
the
that-
thing that made me hype about it was that they didn't default to her getting saved.
Yeah, that
I want her to win this fight, be fucked up, and then us move to a different fight.
Yeah.
Is what I want it to happen.
Absolutely, and I think that they're handling it the right way because obviously they're not treating her like she's a damsel. And I like the idea of her like following and them using this as like a lore drop to like about the ghosts existing in the armor and that she's following her mom and like slowly catching up to her, which is cool. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's got some nice emotional weight. I just want to see her swing that giant fucking axe and kill
yeah,
something.
just
with
kill
it.
some stuff with it.
Honestly, I could wait. I wish he'd go back to like his like big chapters for this shit. You know, like in the beginning,
yeah.
he like 46 like
Yes,
pages.
where they were like
Yeah.
so many
There's
pages.
so many pages and shit like that, where he could just like fill in like a couple fights, like check
Yeah.
in on people and shit like that. I would like to see that.
Absolutely.
I just want to see some fucking brutal finishes. I feel like we haven't gotten anything close to that first fucking time he punches the Daikaiju and just explodes and rains blood
Yeah.
down. Like
Yeah,
I want to see more of that. Like I want to see some more fucking
I
hype ass
want to see one of
monsters
these. I want to
exploding.
see one of these characters like get fucked up.
That too. I want to see some people get fucked up. Like,
Yeah, I want to
haven't
see the
seen-
runner though. I want to see the runner number one. That's my number one.
I
Like
keep forgetting about him.
Yeah,
He's
the,
so
the
spooky.
runner is
Yeah.
spooky.
Who's he? Who's paired up with him right now?
That's
Is it the dorks that are paired up with him?
No, they're with the monolith.
Oh, they are with the
Monolith.
monolith. That's right.
Is it
Or the
is it not
monolith.
Reno?
I don't
Reno-
think Reno
they-
got
they
shown.
didn't show Reno. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
didn't
didn't
show
show Reno.
and show Reno.
Maybe it's number one. The number one's got the fish guy that he's fighting.
Yeah.
The shark boy. Yeah.
Can't remember
Street
now.
Shark.
Street Shark.
Street shark. Yeah, absolutely. Street
I think
shark.
he is with the no names. I think
It might be like.
I think he's with the no names and the monolith with the tiger girl, the main character.
Oh, that's right. The monolith is with the
Yeah.
tiger girl.
It's
Yeah.
not with her
Well,
though.
she's the
Well,
one
she's
she's
on her
firing
way.
against.
I thought they
That's
were
who
just,
she's-
like,
I think she's on her
looking
way
at
over
her.
there, probably.
Oh,
I think
so-
the nobodies are with the runner. So hopefully the
So
runner gets to
yeah,
just fucking kill some people.
Yeah, so Reno would have to go to the runner
Yeah.
or Kafka,
Which
one or
makes
the other.
sense. Like he's got ice powers. It makes sense to pair him up against the fucking speedy
Yeah, to slow him down.
run boy.
We'll see. I hope he does run fast.
He's
though.
Forrest Gump,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
He
yeah, we just
keeps
fucking
running.
Oh, he
runs.
just runs quick as fuck. That's the one I'm most interested in, anyways. Monolith is fucking. weird.
Monolith is terrifying.
I want to
looking.
know what that dude's powers are. Like he's intriguing to me.
And you know, all fucking. The boy with he doesn't open his eyes. The captain.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Number
With the,
10.
with the armor, number
Yeah.
10. Yeah, that's just gonna be like a shit talkers fest.
yeah,
Because
yeah, it is.
they're the same.
Yeah, they're
thing. It's
brothers.
fucking- yeah, they gotta be
Clearly.
related at some point. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Like, oh, of course they'd send you here.
I bet he was like. I bet that kaiju was modeled after number 10. Like when number 9 was making them, he was
Yeah,
like,
he got defeated. He's like, oh well, I guess. I
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
remake
gonna make you, but better.
Yeah.
him. He looks. His
But,
design looks better. But yeah, I'm
so-
Go next one.
Yeah. I'm excited for Kaiju number 8. We'll see where it's going, but it's been pretty good. I liked it.
All right, you guys can have the reins on this one.
Yep. So we're gonna talk about some Undead Unluck, because Undead Unluck has been absolutely
Pop it off.
insane.
Just so good. Like storytelling in a way that's so much more like playing on classic shonen tropes, but just like doing it better.
Yeah, I think what was it like? Almost 20 chapters ago when we started the final loop.
Yeah, I think it's like 100. I think a chapter. I was like around like a little bit after 100 chapters, like 120 chapters. I think is where is the cutoff for part 1.
Yeah, and
Um,
I honestly expected it to be ending. Like
Yeah.
I figured it would just be like she's at the final loop and then shit
Yeah.
would pop off and it would be the climax. But they're going ham on
So-
this final arc.
Yeah, and what I really like about it is that like they spend so much time in part 1 talking about all the negators in the Union. And in Under, like the two big organizations that are fighting against God in different ways, they talk a lot about them and all like how their negator powers are always born in a like in a disaster. Or
Yeah,
like
it's
in
like a moment of,
yeah,
like horror,
despair,
and
yeah, like-
despair. Yeah,
and so like you get all of that, and you get fed all of this, and you see these characters, and they're influenced by the way that their lives have gone in like this horrifying cataclysmic event that caused, or not really, they're heading towards the cataclysmic event, but the despairing event that coincides with the triggering of their negator abilities. And so you have this idea of these characters, and then she loops, and now we're getting it all over again, but she's preventing the tragedies.
she's activating their abilities and preventing the tragedy that's happening
and
for
it's
them.
fucking fantastic.
Incredible.
Like, I mean, take Gina. Like Gina was in. She was like, I think chapter 30 or 40 is when they fight her and they kill her. Like,
Yeah.
and Gina's just fucking dead and gone. And then 100 chapters later, here we go. The new loop has started. first thing she's like, I'm gonna fucking save Gina.
Yeah.
And she fucking does it. Now Gina's a totally different person. Like it's a great
Which
way to
one's Gina?
reuse characters. The little pink-haired girl.
Pink hair girl.
Oh, they had a fighter.
They had to fight her.
She was an old woman at the time.
Oh,
so
okay.
like the way the loop works is she literally started at the creation of the world on the loop. So the girl who has the shirt that says good luck, she is
Bad luck.
ancient. Yeah, she's
Ancient.
bad luck, but she's ancient now in this loop because
Yep.
she's lived through the creation of the universe effectively. And so she's been growing up and planning all of these things to protect these people. So she hasn't quite gotten to where the time stream was the first time when she looped.
Yep.
So she's like meeting all these people that she only heard about or learned about or met them when they were older, and she's saving them.
The thing in his head?
No,
No,
that's a
no.
different guy.
That's a
He
different-
looks similar.
Yeah. So that's the guy that they just recruited. His name is Void Vokes. His negator ability is unavoidable.
Unavoidable.
So
He's
his
a boxer.
Yep, his attacks are literally unavoidable. Like he can make his attacks hit no matter what. Like they can
Sure
you
hit.
can't avoid
Yeah,
them. Yeah, exactly.
He's a sure hit. Yeah,
He's
and
fucking cool.
he's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That was one of his tragedies, was that he ended up becoming someone who accidentally constantly cheats at boxing.
Yeah, he kills his
He,
opponent.
he ends
like,
up
that's,
killing them.
when he triggers his ability, it ends up causing him to accidentally kill his opponent in the ring
Why does it fucking do that?
because it's unavoidable and he's a monster. Look at him. Look at the size of this man.
So
Like,
when he went for the hit, it was I think if I remember correctly, when he went to hit him, the guy tried to dodge, but then it ended up hitting, but like in his head. Like
Yeah.
it literally hit in a part where normally you wouldn't hit somebody.
Oh, hit him in his temple.
Yeah, it, like hit him
killed-
in the temple and
kills
killed him.
So
Yeah.
like the most recent like arc that we just finished out on, she just prevented his tragedy. Like she goes into the boxing ring and fights him and uses like as soon as unavoidable triggers, she uses unluck to beat
counter
him,
it. Yeah.
to beat him and then successfully recruits him. So
Is that where her face all fucked up?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, she got the shit kicked out of her by him. Like
Jesus.
That's why she's passed out.
and it's like she's a great character. Like she's just a great protagonist. Like an interesting and like fun. Like and the difference between her in the original loop and her now is like night and day as well. She inherited the will of the previous leader of the union, whose name I can't remember, but she has unjust. So like anything that she views as unjust or something, I can't remember how
against justice,
yeah,
against her values and her sense of justice.
That's
yeah.
what it is. So she's got crazy ass cool powers too. And she's like, she knows all about. She's the one that fills everyone in on exactly what the loop is, how it works, all of that shit. So now she's basically recruiting, and where we're at now at the end of this chapter is extremely hype because you've got the three big players of Under that she's going to prevent the tragedy of, which is Billy. And his two trusted allies.
I just realized that all of the other ones who are wearing T-shirts, they all say "good luck."
Yeah, I was gonna comment on that.
everyone-
Like, they have she has her own merch.
Yeah, she has her. I mean, she probably does. She is rich as shit now, right? Like she's been using her knowledge.
I feel like if you have that kind of level.
Yeah, and
power,
you've
you
been
should be
around for
forward.
fucking ever.
You can see here in this panel, you can see the difference between what they look like now and what they looked like in the previous loop. So like Nico there at the top, like his is
Unforgettable. Yeah.
Unforgettable. Yeah. So he doesn't forget anything. But
That's
he's
a pain.
plagued by the tragedy of his wife, who's the girl below him, who has unsleep. She never sleeps and ends up dying because of it.
After she gives birth, she
Yes.
dies because of the strain, because
Yep.
she's never slept a day in her life after it activated.
Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
So she's been negating it, and then Gina activates her
Unchange.
unchange, and it literally destroys an entire city.
Yeah, she basically with Unchanged, she can freeze everything. So she ends up inadvertently suffocating this entire town because she makes it to where the air is unchanged, like it's just static. So nobody can breathe, everyone dies. Like Gina's power is actually fucking busted. Like, and that's the cool thing about Undead Unluck is that everyone's power feels like it could be potentially busted. Like the negator system as a power system is just fucking interesting. And it's really fun. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I highly, highly recommend reading Undead Unluck. Like, it's just been a really fun story. We're heading seemingly into the end game, but we've got a little bit of a ways to go from the looks of it, with the setup and basically just using the built-in universe rule of the loop to separate the story into part 1, and then now we're in part 2, which is heading towards seemingly the successful loop.
There was one thing I wanted to bring up. the way they took care of the author.
Yeah.
And so it was so funny because in part 1 they essentially reveal themselves to be the author of the manga.
Yes.
She's writing the story as it happens.
Well, she's writing the story based on the things that she learns through the pen.
Yeah.
So
and
she
so
knows...
she's like it sort of plays at her being the author of the manga itself.
Yeah.
But then she saves her in this loop to where she never has to do that.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's fucking fantastic. Like,
it's very interesting.
It's a really just does a lot of cool things. Plays on a lot of really interesting tropes, and like I said, turns them on their head and makes them a lot more interesting. But speaking of turning things on their head and fucking fucking with tropes.
Yeah, we got the fucking.
Yeah.
The
We gotta
biggest
talk about
left
it.
turn.
I'm gonna let you guys go off on this one. I have to return a phone call real quick. I'll be right back.
We are getting into Jujutsu Kaisen,
The
which
biggest
had,
left turn of the fucking century.
I mean, this chapter broke the fucking internet.
Don't say that. It doesn't break internet. Shut up. Internet's never been broken before.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck you.
It's a statement in pop culture. Let me have it.
Fuck those people.
This chapter broke the fucking internet.
This chapter was better than anything that fucking J.K. Rowling's ever written.
This chapter was fucking phenomenal. Like this is how you do a
Fuck Harry
callback
Potter.
in the right way and make it interesting and dynamic. So obviously, for those of you who are reading Jujutsu Kaisen, obviously we're talking about this recent chapter. First of all, Sumiki, Megumi's sister, has been revealed to be an ancient sorcerer incarnated into her body. Honestly, Megumi's kind of a dumbass for just assuming that she was the awakened type and not a fucking vessel. That's on him. Like, what a fucking idiot. But more
hey, don't
important,
call him. He like what I'm saying, he hasn't seen his sister in forever.
I mean,
and she's been in the fucking like the first season. We ain't seen her then. He's
yeah,
probably
but
like pretty happy about it.
He knew shit. He knew sorcerers could have been incarnated. Like, he even admits it himself. He's like, why did I just assume that she was an awakened sorcerer rather than a vessel?
Yeah.
But so she's crazy. Like, whoever's inside of her is fucking terrifying. By the way, like, I really love these visuals of her like laughing. She's fucking horrifying. She is so scary, so scary. But more importantly, like, she flies the fuck out. She's like, I want to fight Sukuna. Like, fuck off, bye. And so they're about to go chase after her, and Sukuna invokes the fucking binding vow that he made with Yuji all the way back in the beginning of the story when he brings Yuji back to life.
One time he finally uses the motherfucker.
Yeah, when he brings Yuji back to life, he forces Yuji to agree to the binding vow. One, that when he says the word in chain, he gets to switch places with Yuji for 1 minute. During that 1 minute, he promises that he will not harm another person. And they'll switch back after 1 minute. So that and then the other part of it,
you got it.
Sorry, yeah, I fucked that up. So the other part of it is that Yuji forgets the binding vow, that he made the binding vow. So Yuji has no fucking idea that he made this binding vow with Sukuna. He doesn't remember. It's a condition of it. Sukuna invokes the binding vow here and does some fucking crazy shit.
Some of the craziest shit. I mean, because we talked about like how they were gonna interact with this, because we knew that he wanted
Megumi like
for something.
They tied together a bunch of
this
tied together a bunch of loose
fucking,
ends.
He was talking about this back in fucking Shibuya.
Yeah,
and like, dog, motherfucker, you could see it now. Like, he fucking rips off his cursed pinky.
Yep. Yeah, he imbues his pinky with cursed energy.
Cursed energy, rips it the fuck off, and then feeds it to Megumi.
And it's just like, yo, Yuji is a fucking idiot because I promised that I wouldn't hurt anybody else, but I didn't promise that I wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah.
Rips his fucking pinky off. Megumi, to his credit here,
that boy is such a dumbass.
Does the fucking smart thing, tries to summon Maharaga to force the exorcism ritual. Sukuna, having seen this happen already, knows what he's gonna do, stops him, and shoves his finger down his fucking throat and makes him swallow it and incarnates into Megumi's fucking body. Yeah. And that is the end of the fucking chapter.
And we're going to get another fucking chapter for a few weeks. Man,
I mean,
God,
it is
damn it.
Bonkers.
God damn it. I mean, this was the craziest shit ever.
Absolutely insane.
Oh, we have another chapter this week.
Yeah, we have another chapter this week. Absolutely.
Never mind. False alarm.
So,
I mean,
just fucking crazy.
I literally saw this on Instagram just scrolling through, and I was like, oh, that shit's fake. I literally thought
Yeah,
that shit was fake. I was like,
because it doesn't seem like something like it just doesn't feel
seem
like
real.
where we would go.
It doesn't seem real at all.
It's just incredible, like absolutely incredible. Just a thing here. All y'all, any of you nerds hanging out in Jujutsu folk, fuck you. This chapter is amazing.
All people think this chapter's ass.
And people have been complaining in that subreddit for a long time.
Well, they don't like surprises.
They
I guess.
they don't like surprises. They also think that they also missed the entire point of Jujutsu Kaisen and are complaining that Yuji is just a fucking worthless character in his own story. And it's like, yeah, that's the fucking point. He's like he. How many times has Yuji talked about being a fucking cog in the machine? Like,
yeah, he's just a cog in the
that's
machine.
literally what his whole story is about. Like, why would you complain now that he's a fucking cog in his own story? Of course he is.
Outside of his like physical ability and the weird ability he has to contain Sukuna, he's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Sukuna? What the
That's
fuck
fine.
is his name? Sukuna?
Sukuna.
Yeah.
Sukuna.
Well, now
Sukuna.
he doesn't have that, so it's
Yeah,
like,
and I'm curious.
Well,
I think
I
where
guess
we're
my
going
question-
with this is that I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No, sorry. I guess my question is, and because as we know, I don't read Jujutsu Kaisen up to date right now. We talk about it on here. I guess my question would be, did he put all of him through one finger
that's
into
pretty
him,
sure. Yeah,
or
I'm pretty sure
we don't know. We don't know if like he could have,
or if he just split himself?
he could have just done like similar to whatever. Like it seems like he made Yuji's finger like with him, like obviously him, like he imbued it with his cursed energy and then made it into something similar to the normal Sukuna fingers. But we have no idea. Like my guess is that this is where Yuji, like where we're gonna finally see a payoff from Gojo talking ages ago when he's first teaching Yuji about cursed energy and how to like manipulate it.
yeah.
I think this is where we're going to see the fruits of that statement, and Yuji's going to be able to use Sukuna's curse techniques finally. Like I think that he's spent enough time where his curse techniques are going to be embedded on Yuji's soul, and Yuji's going to gain access to being able to use Sukuna's curse techniques.
Because I guess I'm just curious, because like Yuji took one finger in,
Yes.
and Sukuna's consciousness was inside of him.
Yes.
And he was
and
strong
yet-
as fuck.
And he was strong as fuck. And yet, all these other fingers that have existed that have been inside other things didn't have Sukuna's consciousness.
So my guess is
Unless they all did, and he just...
is either one, it's going to tie into Kinjaku being Yuji's mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
than
the
him
perfect
being
curse vessel.
like he's
basically.
literally created to be a vessel for Sukuna, or it's gonna do something. It's gonna have something to do with the fact that Yuji's a human versus like a cursed spirit, because everything else that we've seen gain power from Sukuna's fingers have all been cursed spirits.
Yeah.
So it might very well, seemingly from this, I'm guessing that Sukuna literally did the same process that Kinjaku did with the original fingers and imbued it with cursed energy to pass on and be able to incarnate into whoever consumes it, whatever, however the fuck that works. Like we don't really
Right.
understand the mysticism behind that, besides like that Kinjaku made a binding vow, and that's how all these sorcerers are incarnating. So I'm guessing that Sukuna by nature is some kind of like somehow either has the ability to do the same thing, make the same kind of binding vow to incarnate, or there's something else going on that allows him to just be like, here's a finger imbued with my cursed energy, I'm gonna shove it in your mouth, now I'm inside you.
He like chooses where his consciousness goes, maybe.
So
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see. This could be a temporary thing. We don't know. Like this could be.
Honestly, here's the thing about this is like, I mean, you guys are more, like balls deeper into JJK than I am,
Yeah,
but
I mean, honestly, it's more or less Brian. I just look for the pretty bitches.
because so I'm wondering, like, I know Sukuna has wanted Megumi for a minute,
Yes.
but I don't understand how Megumi would be able to contain him.
He pulls from the shadows, and I think Sukuna is like he lives in shadows.
Well, I think
basically.
so.
Because he's like, oh, you do something with shadows, interesting. And I
My
was like,
theory on why, 'cause that's weird. Like that's true. Like it
Right?
might just
Because
very well be
there's a
that-
reason Yuji works.
It might
Yeah.
very well be because, and we might get an explanation like, oh, this body can't last that long, or
Like
something
he's
like
like
that.
dying or
oh,
something.
yeah, Megumi
That's
might
what
be
I'm
But-
thinking. Megumi
yeah.
starts dying.
But I think the reason why
Too much
Sukuna
there.
wanted Megumi so bad is because he obviously wants the Ten Shadow technique.
Well,
but
yeah.
I think that relates to
summoning him.
the past, where they talk about the Six Eyes user and the Ten Shadows user clashing in the past, and then being like at a stalemate. and I think that's why I think Sukuna wants the 10 shadow. I think that's why he's taking over. I think he wants the 10
He just
shadow
wants
technique.
that technique.
I think he specifically wants that for the very reason that it's powerful enough to possibly like take on the 6 eyes.
Yeah, at this point, I think either the theory of Yuji being able to use his techniques or the fact that Megumi will start dying with Sukuna in him are the only ways this works out.
I think
because Sukuna says like earlier in this chapter when he feeds him the finger, he says from here on it's a gamble.
Because
So,
he doesn't know.
Yeah, like he knew that he could make the binding vow. He knew what he wanted out of the binding vow.
Yeah.
But he wasn't for certain that he could do this. Because he even says like, see, he said, didn't I say we'd see something interesting, boy? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think he knew what was gonna happen when he shoved his finger down Megumi's throat. And it's seemingly working out the way he wanted it to.
For now.
I imagine it's not going to continue working.
I think
hey,
Megumi's
listen,
gonna
for
start
all we know,
dying.
this could be a fucking just a giant tug on the dick.
Oh yeah, like a red herring.
Sure.
Yeah, just like the triple fucking domain expansion.
Yeah.
The triple domain expansion. Yeah.
Just like that. Remember that? Remember how hyped we were for that? And all of a sudden, next chapter is just him like, boy.
He just starts vomiting
I don't
blood.
think that he's going to do that with this because has been built up.
This is too fucking dope.
No, yeah.
And I've already thought about this. If they have to fight him, there's only one person there who can whoop his ass.
Yeah.
You know who that is? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Yuta? Yuta's the only one that I can think of, like, or Maki maybe. But I don't think Maki's even taking him on.
Comedian dog walks
Oh,
in.
yeah, comedian. Yeah.
Comedian dog walks in, no problem.
That's so funny.
Sukuna's going to cleave him, and he's going to be like, that's fucking hilarious. And it's just going to just dissolve and cleave Sukuna.
He's like, oh my god, your face is stupid.
Yeah, your face is fucking hilarious,
your face is
dog.
hilarious. So why do you
That's
do
so
that?
funny.
Why'd you do that to your face?
Because I still think in-game is, however it happens, Yuji gets Sukuna back, and Yuji kills himself. I still think that's in-game.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I still think that's the ending of Yuji's story.
That'd be actually pretty
As
sick.
the man who is looking for a good death, he finally chooses his own.
I don't think this story's going to have a good ending. Like, I don't think it's going to have a happy ending, I should say.
That's not a happy ending.
No.
Yuji killing himself is not a happy...
kind of a happy ending, because that's what Yuji wants.
I think it's after fucking Sukuna murders a bunch of people.
I mean, sure, but like Yuji ultimately dying with Sukuna inside of him has been his goal for the entire story. So like, realistically, like that is a happy ending for Yuji because it's getting what he wants.
I don't think it's his goal. No. Listen. In the very beginning, he was given a choice that wasn't a choice. It was, we'll kill you now.
That's fair.
Or you could eat all the fingers and we'll kill you then.
That's true.
He was given no choice. As a man who was looking for a good death, he was forced on a path. I think him making the decision to kill himself when it matters is what will be a good ending for Yuji.
That's fair.
Because it'll be the death he's always wanted.
I could see that happening. I don't think Yager's gonna disappoint. Like,
no, I don't think so either.
I think
this,
something.
hell no, dude.
I think something bonkers is coming down
something
the road.
wild's about to happen.
Like, and this shit's like now I'm like, oh well, maybe he fucking is gonna end the story in a year. Like, goddamn, like he's pulling out all the stops.
He said he wants to end it this year. So I mean,
he's popping off hard, man. He's going ham. Like shit. Maybe he's actually gonna fucking stay. Maybe he's gonna.
We might actually see a character death because of this shit.
Oh, I
imagine. I think this might be the end for Megumi.
Yeah, I think some shit.
I think Megumi will die from this. Yeah.
I think some fucked up shit is heading down our way.
I just want. I'm being dead ass. I want the comedian to be like domain expansion, fucking like clown room or something.
I fucking love that.
Or like the comedians, like his fucking domain expansion is him doing the stand up.
I was just about to say like, his domain expansion is just him on a fucking stage and you're forced to listen to his shitty jokes. And
Sykuna kills himself.
You just laugh, like you keep laughing. Every joke he tells you, laugh harder and harder until eventually like some fucking
you just suffocate.
You just die from laughing too much.
Or if like you don't laugh, he gets fucking pissed.
Yeah, he gets stronger.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Gosh. But yeah, Jujutsu is wild.
Yeah, this has been absolutely fucking bonkers.
I love this chapter.
I cannot wait to see where we go from here. Like I don't have any idea. I don't even have any theories on where we go from here at this point because of how fucked this is. Like this threw me off.
Yeah,
it's
insane. But I think that's all we have for you on this one. So thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. We'll catch all y'all later.
Peace.